our live stream. Please share, subscribe, hit that like button. The end of white America. God hates this wicked American white race, and he's threatened to kill them. Now we have the judgment of America. The great dreadful days of the Lord has now come to America. See, the land of people who worship evil, robbery, murder, rape, famine, and deceits are the orders of the day in America. If there's anything like God's righteousness, if there's anything like God the truth, should not he raise himself up and take his place, put an end to such evil as now going on in America? You see, today, people cannot walk these streets of America without subjecting themselves to robbery, murder, rape. See, America is a wicked land. Everyone's against the other. Righteousness, justice, and freedom are despised and fought against, regardless to the clear knowledge of God's hourly punishment and destruction of America by his divine pledge of storms. But this is as it is written of America in the book of Revelation, in the Bible. They continued their evil ways and did blasphemy to God who had power over these places. They hated the name of Allah. They hate the name of his messengers. But nevertheless, that does not stop the judgment and destruction of white America. Look at the wicked devil in Alabama. See, they are against us while we are trying to be at peace with them. But there is no peace in them. See, we have done nothing to them. See, they are against us. That's because of the idea that we are Muslims, black people. We see the white man have his way of ruling the black people for so long that he thinks that he still has the power to do so, while in reality, the white men have come to the end of his time of power to rule the black and brown people. Regardless, to allow God retaliation to the white man for his evil act done to the black and brown, the white man still keeps inviting retaliation of Allah God. The white man must remember that he cannot win today over Allah God and his servants, for he has power. We see this judgment of America. See, the judgment have come to you, white America, whom to you who seeks to fight against Allah God and against his aim and purpose. Whom to you, America, we see Allah God has made you blind to his judgment, and therefore you are committing suicide. See, he has made you blind on purpose to give you the full dose of his wrath. Now these pledges is born to the last dread. And when you see a man does not know the danger of fire, then he can fall headlong into it. America has mistreated the black and brown for 400 years. And she does not think that there is ever a God who will accept her black, brown, and return on her head the injustice done to her black slaves. See, this is the day and time in which America can benefit from what Allah God have revealed to me and from the work that I'm doing amongst my black and brown people, turning them from doing evil into righteousness, as it is written in the Bible. Babylon had been healed. There was a possible chance for a healing, and she had not gone to extreme by making fun of the God of the Jews and their temple in Jerusalem, and belittling the powers of the God of the Jews to retaliate. So the Bible prophesies of the pledge that will come upon America. And these pledges are falling on America now. As you see, earthquakes are here. Tsunamis is here. Yellowstones, super volcanoes, flood, hurricanes, tornadoes. They are seeing the full pledge. And these pledges are coming down on America. And yet she will not repent. For America continued to kill and deprive the black one slave of righteousness and justice, even though the black slave wants to go from America. She wants to hold on to him. America does not want to let her black slave go. America holds the black slave for a prey. Why you think that they hold the black people for a prey? Why you think that they're trying to send millions of immigration back to their homes? To resegregate black American people. To have them work these cheap labors, act like they bringing jobs back. We got to wake up. Because now they're using us now to cover over their capitalism. Y'all not hearing me. Whom to America, you see her days has arrived. She will not heed the warning. I beg her to let us be separate from her on little territory and to stay to ourselves. To let us be responsible for our own survival. Only to get out from under her injustice. But she refused. So it was with Pharaoh in the time of Moses. See, God went down to Egypt to make Israel and the enemies, the Egyptian, an example for future people. So that this may serve as a sign of what we see going on in America today. For a great judgment, Allah God promised to destroy America, which are now coming upon her. See, hail, snow, drought, earthquakes. Allah God have reserved his treasure of snow and ice to be used against the wicked country of America in the days of battle and war. These are some of Allah God's weapons, the storms that we see going on. See, the white man of America is not blind and ignorant. He had known these prophecies of his doom for a long time before we knew it. For the white man translate the Bible, and you know what he puts in his translation of that which was written in the Bible. See, the judgment of white America, all love and respect of the wicked have gone for them. They do not love each other nor respect each other. They have pulled off their clothes and disgraced themselves. This is also a pledge. See, some of these white people rehearsing the cage days of their fathers. They are not ashamed to do so. They come out with long, straggly hair, as their fathers did in the days of their cage. This is Allah God forcing his white race to bear him witness that they really wants the caveman. Yet, if you foolish, unlearned black people follow this white man, it is a shame to pull off their clothes and grow hair down their back over their face by misleading this black man to fall in the ways of this white man cave days. See, the white man again telling the world how he had deceived the black man, is now making this black man manifest that he's too weak to seek after his own. For nearly 40 years, I have been preaching to you, to this black man in America, that we should accept our own, instead of this black man going to the decent side of his own. We go back seeking transitional Africa in the way they did in the jungle life, where you see in uncivilized parts of Africa today. See, they are not using barber tools, sneakers, razors to keep themselves looking dignified as their civilized people should look. The black man in America accept this jungle life, thinking that they would get the love of black Africa. Black brothers and black sisters wearing savage dress and hairstyles will not get you the love of Africa. The dignified people of Africa are neither Muslims or educated Christians. But Africa today does not want Christianity. Do not think that you will get a home in Africa after this war if you are a Christian. To get a home in Africa after the war, you have to be a Muslim. The judgment of America, she is made manifest, as it is written in the Bible, Revelation. She is a cage of every unclean and hateful bird, every unclean and hateful human being. America, America, the days have come. Evil done to your black slave. America, you cannot repay that evil with another evil. I'm trying to tempt this black slave by offering them your white woman. See, that does not help you in this day, but it does condemn you as being a double crosser. That you even offer your black one slave, your girls and women, to do with them as they please. If they would just follow you. The judgment of America. See, Babylon could have been healed, but she was not healed. America just beginning to experience sorrows and mourning and grief and distrust for anger of God and man, according to both the Holy Quran and the Bible. There will be plenty more of the same. In these two books, one can easily find everything foretold that is happening today. The time will grow so terrible, son, that according to the Holy Quran, see, children will become gray-haired. According to the Bible, great heart failures become a disease upon the people who have anger of God, the American people. The fourth beast in the Revelation of John in the Bible, in which Daniel described as a well-dressed, well-armed beast, working on that of death upon the weak, refers to America. She had no respect for the poor, the unfortunate. Daniel's description of a rib between the teeth of the beasts and the reference to this ill treatment, subjection, and ruthless behavior by the devil to our people. This America Latins are poor with heavy sentences, long prison terms, refuse to let them go free. This is due to a heartlessness and lack of compassion for the black and brown American. This beast, white man lies and waits around this black man homes and prowls the streets at night and wait for an excuse to wreak his ruthlessness on his poor prey, the black man. If the black man raised a hand to protect and defend himself, he is shot dead and unable to defend himself against false charges. This beast keeps our people in sorrows and unhappiness by depriving them of equal opportunity. The black man races are calculated by white wicked accountants, preventing the so-called nickel from saving by skyrocketing and a view of the poor of the prices of the necessary of life. This white beast persecuted, imprisoned, and killed those who preach freedom and justice for the poor so-called nickel. The white man does not want the so-called nickel to leave America, but she will not divide the spoil of America, the country which she has taken by the force of arms and killing the owners, the Indians, with them. This beast set up evil to be allies as a god. She discussed good for evil. She covered the earth with filth, making it fascinating. And a man will bow down and worship evil for good. She set brothers against brothers for a joy, and then she killed both of them. Whom to America, the murderers and deceivers of the people, God of justice and truth have pronounced a judgment against you, and by no means will you escape. You have made mockery of him, God and his people, his words, the truth. You have been judged and found wanting to the so-called American Negro. The lost are now found. Members of the black nation of the earth. Top of the morning, Bruce. Come unite with Allah and me. Go to your own. You don't have to go anywhere. You only unite with your own. See, heaven awaits you wherever you may be. America is surrounded with the judgment of God. The four great judgments that Almighty Allah God is bringing upon America are rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes, fire. We see them now covering all sides of America as the Holy Quran prophesies, curtain her on all her sides. And these judgments will push the people into the center of the country. And they will realize that it's Allah God who is bringing them and their country to a nothing. So Allah God will push the people to the center of the country. In Ezekiel 26:18, it will be a time that will be terrified. And that this means that the coastlands will be destroyed. Over there in the Pacific Basin, there are waves that's pushing. There are waves pushing. And see, many of these meteorologists think, when are hurricanes going to wake up into the Atlantic? See, this is God's plan. This is his plan that he has. He's setting all this up for the aftermath. So these judgments will push the people in the center of the country. And they realize that it's Allah God who is bringing them and their country to a nothing. See, Job prophesies in the Bible that Allah God has this snow and ice to use as his weapons in the days of war and battle against the wicked. We hear and read in the newspaper today of how great hills like little mountains of snow are pushing down from the north, not only in the northern states of Minnesota, North and South Dakota, Montana, but now the snow is in New England states, and they are declared to be disaster areas. The announcer, a disaster of the snow in the New England states, says that there have never been such great quantity of snow. We see it all up and down to the coast, to the Carolinas. The rain takes up where the snow leaves off. All around the southern borders of America, storms are raging. There are tornadoes and heavy rain, and more storms are on the way, one right after another. In the north and far west and the east, America is surrounded with the judgment of Allah God. There are earthquakes and the seas are raging. See, the Pacific Ocean is now angry and raging and tossing up great waves as never before. See, I'm telling y'all that the Pacific Ocean, see in the Pacific Basin, you are seeing waves that's pushing. In the Pacific Basin, they ain't never seen waves, these hurricane waves that's coming in. There's more waves that's pushing into the Pacific. The Pacific Ocean is now angry and raging and tossing up great waves as never before. Now, why should these things hit America? Because Revelation teach you why. It is because America is filled with devils and have such unclean person living in America. This is true on the hateful birds. See, every filthy, shameless, wicked person comes here for a haven where he can do any wickedness he wants to do. And the country opens and welcomes that type of person. As we see, the few little Muslims who name Muslim means those who have submitted to the will of Allah God. How the enemy hates us and seeks to do all the evil he possibly can against us by falsehood. These are not the days of Noah, Lot, Abraham, nor are these the days of Moses. These are new times. Enemy does not get away in punishing the righteous just because he hates them. See, Allah, God of righteousness, is with us. He just laugh at those who try to fight against him. He had destroyed a whole nation with less than the power of rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. The Holy Quran has the record of people even being destroyed. See, Allah God does not have to have something great. He does not have to go to work and get a block of iron or a mountain. and throw it on them. Use that which is with you against you. The force of nature are great weapons as we see them in play upon America. Storm after storm, as snow and ice, are rolling in from the north and are pushing great drift. They are just covering up everything. What can you do with a God like that? Job prophesies that Allah God has his weapons stored up to use in the day of battle and war with the wicked. You just take some snow and cover them up. The Holy Quran says that Allah God destroys people with just cold wind. He froze them. Do you think that you can get away with fighting Allah God? No wonder the second song says that he would sit in the heaven and laugh at those who are trying to fight against him. He'll have you crazy. It is true. The heads of the governments of this Christian world are confused. They do not know that they are confused. Why? Because the greatest desire was to confuse us. Now Allah God is taking confusion out of us and put it into them. Oh, eat America. See, help yourself to the desert that you have prepared for us. See, you eat it now. See, all praise are due to Allah God. Came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. See, we went to Alabama, to any states that we go to, pay a high price per acre of land that our father laborers has already bought for us. Now he wants to kill us if we act humble and peaceful and want to buy back some of our own labors. See, I laugh at some of these things that I hear coming out of Alabama. And not only in Alabama, but in every other states in the union. See, they do not know the time in which they are living. See, Allah God is well able to take this country from you and give it to whom he pleases. It is in your Bible. Read it for yourself. He took the kingdoms from the wicked and gave it to whom he pleases. Those who was bring people into righteousness. America is surrounded with the judgment of Allah. We see the four great judgments of rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes, and the confusion in the head of states. The four great judgments of America. To be pledged with too much rain will destroy properties and lives. It swells the rivers and creeks. Too much rain, we see will flood cities and towns. Large bodies of water at the ocean shoreline will be made to swell with unusual high waves, dumping billions of tons of water over the Nile Sea shoreline. Rain destroyed properties and killed cattle by drowning them in lowlands. Rain destroyed the hiding places of victorious beasts, reptiles, bringing them out, fighting in small towns and people homes and farms. Rain weakened and destroyed railroads and truck lines, bread and bridges. Rain undermined foundations of all types of buildings. Rain makes the atmosphere too heavy with moisture, causes sickness. You see, wind with rain can bring destruction to towns and cities, bringing various germs causing sickness to the people. They produce unclean water by the swelling of the stream and destroying of the pure drinking water used for the health of the people. We see rain is a destructive army with itself. Hailstorms are also a property and life destroyers. Snow is the most dreaded pledge when it comes in great drifts, from 5 to 35 feet. It buries your properties and lives. It destroys your highways and cities, and your gravel towns and cities. It put a great burden of expense upon the city. It put a great burden of expense upon the cities to repair it. The cave ends or roofs of homes. We see the cutting off of homes, cutting off of transportations, isolation areas, bring about starvation, communication destroyed with the icing and the communication wires. Snow look pretty because of its clean look. Almost everything in nature is beautiful, but it can be turned into death and destruction against man. So we see snow is prophesied to be one of the weapons that God will use against this wicked of America. We see Job 38:22 and 23. Hailstorms are also mentioned in the same two verses, where God plainly tells us that he had preserved it against the time of trouble, against the days of battle and war. Now all these pledges is here, y'all. Landslides is coming down. You know, Yellowstones is here. Volcanoes are erupting. Earthquakes are building. Hurricanes is here. Tornadoes are here. Flooding is here. Hailstorms. All these weapons are here that God will use. And it's finna get serious. In other words, fire is here. And fire is one of the weapons God is using right now on the wicked of America. When you see fire, y'all, that's the time of their power is coming to an end. All these pledges boiled down to the last dread. Earthquakes, fire, rain, snow, hail, tornadoes, hurricanes, Yellowstone, volcanoes, tsunamis. All these pledges are being activated. And it's coming. Now, is America any better than the people read about in the history that God destroys? No, she is not as good. These people was not as wicked as the American people. See, earthquakes can destroy towns and cities instantly. America is in a grip of divine judgment. America is in a position towards a one slave, so-called nigger, as Pharaoh was, and Israel as his slave. She is in this position because an injustice done to the American so-called nigger, slave, brought to America over 400 years ago. Refused to let them go free. They only said that you are free, knowing within that they are not able to lead you without anything. But you see, the injustice continued to increase. Now they plan death, my brothers. Now they send in the National Guards to slaughter us, the governments. I have warned you that they are only here to slaughter us. Now we got to get together and join our brothers and get together for a spiritual feast like never before. Knowing who your brothers is in a time. So we see this God was predicting by the prophet to come to the defense of these people, the so-called nigger, in these last days after they served the enemy for 400 years. So the Bible declared to Abraham in Genesis that God will judge the people to whom his people Abraham will be in bondage. This does not mean Israel. This means the present black people, the members of the black nation, who have fulfilling the prophecy. God and the person of Master Fard Muhammad will not be defeated. See, the more evil, deceiving, tricking, making false promises to the American so-called only increases America's divine chastisement and doom. So the more Trump do, the more he signed these executive orders and cut out all middle-class people, the more evil he do, the more the judgment and the chastisement that America will have. You see, America knows that her trouble lies in the mistreatment of the black, brown, red, and yellow. But she is too wicked to give up tricking the Negro and deceiving him on these false promises. She just cannot stop. See, the opportunity is to open. And she thinks that there's no one to enter her. See, she thinks that there's no eyes on her. She thinks that no one is watching. She thinks no one can hinder her today. But the divine pledge and destruction is taking place right before her eyes. But God has chosen us to be his people. And he delights in fighting the enemy according to the history of the former people. He delights himself by going forth against them when they extended their limit. So it is with America. It must be separated. America will not agree to see the Negro separated from her until she has suffered divine punishment as Pharaoh suffered. Same things the other evil nations suffered before them is now coming upon this people. She seeks to keep her slave rob opportunity and wealth. She envies success coming to an American Negro free slave. She charged them high prices to keep them down, to deceive them through a few of what we call Uncle Toms and the political circles, class, and all professional classes. She offered them little favoritism to help her work against their own people, the black people. But they too will suffer along with the enemy of justice, of the poor, so-called Negro. They must be separated. Envy, hatred are going between the two people. Regardless of their preaching of social integration, the truth must come. What is better than a program you find I have written you two black and whites cannot get along in peace, since you never had gotten along in peace? Do you know why white America does not like to talk with you about this separation? And why he calls separation of the two people the wrong solution for peace between the people? He knows that it's promised and that God will do it. Then why do they not agree with separating themselves from you and me and we from them? Why are the black and white man all over the earth now in disagreement with each other to live in peace? Do you know why? Oh, foolish Americans, so-called Negro. See, seek some of this earth that you can call it your own to live on in peace. Unite and ask the government for a portion of America. This is what we need. Somewhere to live to ourselves. And let the white man live to himself. Two people are not brothers. They are aliens to each other. God did not make them brothers to each other. I ask you, my brothers and sisters, to learn this. And learn it quickly. Fly for your life to the refuge of Allah. Come, follow me. America, land being divinely curtained. The Holy Quran, Surah 13:41. See they not that we are visiting land and curtain it of its sides? See, Allah pronounced a doom, and there is no repeller of his decree, and he is swift and calling to account. Black man America, there is no one as blind as you are seeing what is going on against America today. I have warned you for nearly 40 years that Allah God and the person of Master Fard Muhammad, whom praise are due forever, came to me and gave me the knowledge of the truth, and have been preaching to you continually. Now you see what is going on. As America had done, so now it's being done into her. America has surrounded the country of the people. She had blown their cities to pieces. She had killed the inhabitants. Those who had left her eyes, she put to flight, running from shelter and destruction of American might. It is very sad and horrible to look at the things that America has done which are now coming on this country. For many years, we see centuries of years, America had lived a luxurious, wicked life while hating her black slaves and depriving them of justice, shooting them down on the streets and on the highways, in the woods, in the fields for nothing. She did it just because she felt that she had the advantage. And she wanted to kill black people as she was made to do. The Bible, Psalms, chapter 10, verse 8. He sat in a lurking place of the village, in a secret place, though he murdered innocents. His eyes are set against the poor. See, this is like the purge. We see it up into this very minute. See, seeking to destroy this black man, America, and deprive him of freedom to do for self. America never desired departure of the black slave from his white slave masters. America wished only to hold the black slave in order to continue to treat him with evil. See, Pharaoh hatred and injustice to Israel and Egypt in the time of Moses to serve America as they wanted. But she had fallen headlong into the destruction of Allah God. America runs to and fro, seeking way out. She does not try to justify her black slave for justice and equality among the nation of the earth. America made us into nothing, and she used us to mock us before the nation of the earth. But a God with unlimited wisdom, knowledge, and power is now befriending the black slave. And he has chosen the black slave to be his people. But the foolish black people have yet to come to that knowledge that Allah God is their best friend, and that he's here to save them from the destruction of a people who have shown evil and hatred to us all our life. America divided us one against the other. The black man in America is so divided against each other that you seek all the time to do evil against each other. You cannot even befriend them lest they take advantage of it. They call you a fool for trying to befriend them, as it was with us by Midway Technical Schools. Midway Technical Schools came to us for help, and we gave them that help to keep them from falling. It cost us $30,000 to set them free of their backments and other bills that they had. Take a look at how they had turned on us for the purpose of wrecking all of their beautiful businesses set up for them and others to enjoy on the south side of Chicago, Illinois. The fall of America, we see foretold separation is the answer. And when her cities are set on fire, and when men are united, and when hell is kind, the folding up is the title taken from this first verse of that chapter in which the above verses are found. And when the sun is folded up, the Holy Quran Surah 81 verse 1 prophesied the folding up of a recorded work, a record of what people have done as it used will no longer be necessary. The chapter refers to what take place in the resurrection. One part is recorded as beginning, while the other part is discontinued. See this clearly being made manifest today. See, war causes the destruction of civilization. War destroys the cities and towns of a nation as we see it today. The riots, the looting. This chapter 81 of the Holy Quran is now being fulfilled. The sun, the stars, mountains, camels, and wild animals are mentioned in the first 4 verses of this chapter and are not without. The coming of God refers to by the prophet is to unite a people. We have been divided against us by the enemies. See, why is God uniting the people? He's uniting us. The black, brown, red, and yellow. He's uniting us. He chose these people for building up a better world. So we see the Bible Revelation refers to the destruction of the beast and his chief instructor, the dragon. The name beast given here is not referring to 4-foot animals, but to a people who rule is like that of a savage beast. Now, when we talk about beast, we're not talking about beasts referred to 4-foot animals now. We're talking about a savage, well-known beast that rule is like that of a savage beast. See, in Theologians, most of them, from the time of Martin Luther, who I think was the author of these terms. See, beast, dragon, especially the late pastor Russell and Judge Rutherford, founders of Jehovah's Witness sect, takes this term dragon to refer to the Pope of Rome. We see the father of the Christian church and this Christian religion. This is the first time since we have been lost and is part of the earth that we want to unite the black nation of the earth into one under the guidance of God who is now present. Why should the master continue to deceive his slave? He teaches the slave that he's a free citizen with equality. Why do you slave masters want to hold them for hostage prey? You do not need them. Your machines do the labor that the slave used to do. Why not let them go? You see, they want to bring back these jobs as though they're doing America a favor. See what they doing, they want to cut out all immigration, y'all, and resegregate black American people. They want us to work under their labor, their cheap labor, just in order to save their capitalism. See, the slave already used to do the slave work already. And see, they got all this AI and all this technology now. And it says your machines can do the labor that the slave already used to do. See, why not let them go? You see, you want to go to war against Allah and the freedom that Allah came to do for you slaves. Before you, Pharaoh had that same idea. Now these people are Pharaoh. Pharaoh was a hard taskmaster, refused to let the people go. Pharaoh did not want to let the people go till they seen all these pledges that was coming on their land. In the same way, America, all these pledges are boiling up, fewing up. It's going to few down to the last dread. You see, Pharaoh did not want Israel to go free. White America don't want the so-called nigger to go free and a land to themselves. See, we see Pharaoh lost his war against Allah and was drowned in his Red Sea. Now, the loser, my brothers and sisters, of this war will land in a lake of fire, not water. If white America wants to free her slave, she could easily do so. This will be simpler and easier than what she is doing today, killing and provoking them through police force, National Guards, finding U.S. Army as we see in Detroit, Michigan. You see the National Guards. You already seen how Trump deployed 20,000 National Guards in Los Angeles. Something is coming, you guys. If you don't fight for what's right, and you let the bear continue, so you gotta poke at the bear, y'all. Once the bear growls, you gotta continue to poke at him. It's going to take a collective people. We're going to have to fight in the time, brothers. And it's going to mean bloodshed. They're going to send their armies, their tanks. But see, when you understand that Goliath, the big giant of the earth of America, we understand when we see the sword within, the sword without, we see trouble seem to have no end. When we see tens of millions of black people crying for freedom, justice, and equality from their slave master, the white slaves should be greatly deceived. So if the white America wants to free her slave, you see, she can easily do so. This will be simple and easy than what she's doing, killing and provoking them to these police force, National Guards, and find the U.S. Army as we see here in Detroit, Michigan. America actions show us two things. Firstly, she wished to cause fear on the so-called with a display of many deadly weapons, but America is removing their fear. The same treatment that they've been doing on us is the same treatment that they're doing on brown pride. They can get their funky National Guards. Trump can send out many executive orders to deploy immigration, but that's not going to stop the time and destruction of America. Now, I want you guys to understand, secondly, she fears to approach her armed slave unless she is armed. Now, this has been historical relation between this white man. The white man seeks the leadership of the so-called Negro to help him keep the dissatisfied slaves subject to him without complaint about injustice. The white man said, "Nigga, you should be happy. You are better off than many of your black kind with a job." The white slave master brought our fathers here to do slave work. We see our free laborers and made this white slave master richer than their brethren, Europeans. Do their offers in this land that they had took from the Indians? The 22 million so-called Negro should be seeking some of this earth on which to live and build an independent nation ourselves. You see, the white slave master only offers a job. Allah God has come in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, to free us. The Negro slave must be free. This is the meaning of the resurrection. Allah God has said to Elijah Muhammad that he intends to free the American so-called Negro at any price. For 400 years, you slave masters have been killing the so-called Negro without receiving any resistance, regardless of his peaceful way with you. We the Muslims have lived in peace here in America. There's not a single incident in our 36 years of history where we have ever made an aggressive move against you, but you have attacked us several times. We have proved to the world that you are impossible to live with in peace. You have condemned it and killed the just and he who do not resist you. James 5:6. You have destroyed many towns, cities, and people. See, this that they won't say to you. They won't tell you how many people they killed here. They won't say. But they will tell you, well, we want to deploy 2,000 militaries to stop immigration. But they won't tell you how many towns and cities and people they had destroyed, as you had divided the so-called Negro up, one against the other. So now Allah, God should divide you and your brethren. As you have done to others, so shall be done to you. The Bible. And when the cities are set on fire, see, this is a sign of the end of you as a power. The house is doomed to fall. We cannot deny the fact that we see that the Christian race is responsible for this universal corruption in the land and sea. From the same corruption that their own has made will come their doom.